Hello guys, welcome to the movie recap review. Happy watching.
Ich hab nicht masturbiert.
Och, glaub mir, damit wären wir beide glücklicher gewesen.
Wie soll sie es dann checken?
Okay, dann vielleicht ein Handjob?
Oh, das ist alles zu viel.
The movie begins with Charlie standing on a diving board as his schoolmates pressure him to jump. This triggers a memory of childhood trauma when his pants were pulled down at a pool, leaving him humiliated. Even now, he's mocked about his manhood. When he finally jumps, he finds brief peace underwater, but the ridicule resumes as soon as he surfaces. Popular kids Konstantin, Ziggy, and Basti join in the teasing, pushing Charlie to retreat to the locker room, where he hides in a cubicle. From there, he overhears surprising gossip. The hottest girl in school is ignoring Konstantin, and Ziggy and Basti are secretly in a relationship while pretending to be macho. After school, Charlie's best friend Paula picks him up, and they happily chat in code. At home, Charlie witnesses his parents, Rudy and Sabina, arguing about Rudy hoarding expired yogurt despite being lactose intolerant. Meanwhile, Paula returns to her house, brushing off her younger sister Phoebe and her mom, who compare her to their late father. Later, Paula wins a video game, only to be upset by an inappropriate picture sent by another player. That night, Paula and Charlie hang out on a rooftop, venting their frustrations. Paula about being mistreated as a woman, and Charlie about being bullied. They find comfort in their friendship until lightning suddenly strikes them, miraculously leaving them unharmed. The next morning, Charlie wakes up to an unfamiliar voice urging him to explore his worldly urges. To his horror, he realizes the voice belongs to his manhood, which introduces itself as Willie. He's interrupted by Rudy barging in, catching him mid-conversation with Willie. Desperate for privacy, Charlie rushes to the bathroom, but his parents keep interrupting. When Paula arrives to pick him up, Charlie avoids her, fleeing on his bike as Willie continues to chatter uncontrollably. Distracted, Charlie crashes his bike and gives it to his father, who works at his school as a janitor. Later, Charlie's world slows down as he spots Marlene, the hottest girl in school, and Willie urges him to talk to her. In class, their director firmly reminds the students about the upcoming final exam. Overwhelmed by Willie's nonstop commentary, Charlie excuses himself to the bathroom, hoping satisfying Willie will silence him. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Charlie's next challenge comes when he sings in a choir performance in front of the senior class and visiting students from a partner school. Mr. Pendergast starts the program as the conductor and signals Charlie to step forward for his solo. But when Willie notices a beautiful exchange student named Francois in the audience, Charlie gets an unwanted appearance in his pants, causing him to panic. The audience notices, some start recording, and Charlie rushes backstage to hide, unaware that his mic is still on, broadcasting his conversation with Willie to the entire hall. At home, Charlie is drowning in embarrassment. Paula tries to show him Marlene's viral video from the choir event, but he refuses to watch it. To cheer him up, Paula massages his shoulders, which Willie enjoys a little too much. She then awkwardly asks Charlie if he wants to sleep together. While Willie eagerly agrees, Charlie nervously declines. Embarrassed, Paula retreats to the bathroom, where she starts arguing with her own private part, hoo-ha, about the uncomfortable moment with Charlie. When she returns, Paula quickly gathers her things and leaves, flustered. Afterward, Charlie tells Willie to stop talking about Paula if he wants any kind of deal. He promises to focus on passing his final exam first, and then he'll consider what Willie wants. Willie reluctantly agrees. The next day, Charlie notices Rudy is missing, while Sabina is using a dating app to meet new people. When Charlie confronts his dad at school about this, Rudy explains that Sabina wants time alone. His casual attitude frustrates Charlie, who urges his dad to win her back. Leaving Rudy, Charlie heads to class, where he's overwhelmed by the attention from his viral video. He enjoys his newfound popularity, which even catches Marlene's eye, much to Konstantin's annoyance. Paula tries to talk to Charlie about their awkward moment, but he brushes her off to soak in the attention. Soon after, Francois approaches Charlie and asks for help getting familiar with the school. Willie gets overly excited, but Charlie manages to play it cool and smoothly invites Francois to hang out. Meanwhile, Paula and Hoo-Ha watch bitterly. Paula locks herself in the bathroom, where Hoo-Ha brings up a painful memory. 2 years ago, During a beach vacation, Paula met a guy who made a move on her. She broke down crying, thinking of her late father, and the guy insulted her, leaving her heartbroken and unsure about her femininity. Hoo-ha encourages Paula to reconnect with her confidence and embrace her body. Later, Charlie finds himself shopping for intimate apparel with Sabina. She opens up about focusing on herself after years of prioritizing Rudy and Charlie. When she receives a message on the dating app with an eggplant emoji, she assumes it's a cooking invitation. Charlie struggles to explain the true meaning, leaving Willie laughing uncontrollably. Later, Paula visits an adult boutique where Hoo-ha excitedly urges her to try on black lingerie. Paula tries it on, but needs a larger size. While looking for the shop assistant, she awkwardly bumps into him. Meanwhile, Marlene's friends, Leonie and Sarah, spot Paula in the store and start gossiping. That night, Charlie and Paula meet on the rooftop and reconcile, though their privates won't stop urging them to act on their feelings. Charlie makes it clear he only sees Paula as a friend, which creates some tension. When he comments that something about her seems different, Paula just smiles, feeling confident. The next day, Paula heads to school with a new sense of liberation, confidently checking out guys and greeting Marlene's group. She talks about how great it is to embrace her femininity. Meanwhile, Marlene invites Charlie to her party, sparking jealousy in Constantine, who wasn't invited. His friends tease him, while Leonie and Sarah accuse Marlene of using Charlie to make Constantine jealous. Charlie, unsure whether to go to Marlene's party or spend time with Francois, asks Rudy for advice. Rudy suggests taking Francois to the party, and his coworker, though unhelpfully, agrees. At the same time, Constantine asks Paula to be his date for the party. She agrees, unaware that he's only using her to get in. Meanwhile, Rudy gets called to Director Voigt's office, where she scolds him for bending workplace rules, leaving him shrinking in embarrassment. Later, Paula asks Phoebe for help getting ready for her date, while Charlie surprises Francois by taking her to Marlene's party without explaining where they're going. Marlene answers the door, visibly irritated by Francois's presence. Francois immediately realizes what's happening and comments sarcastically, but Charlie doesn't catch her point. Trying to diffuse the tension, Francois invites Charlie to drink, despite Willie's protests about ruining the success of their intimate encounter. The two end up having fun on the dance floor, while Marlene and her group watch with disapproval. Paula and Constantine arrive, and Constantine makes a show of putting his arm around Paula to get Marlene's attention. Hoo-ha, focused on Constantine, encourages her to ignore Charlie. Tipsy, Paula eventually excuses herself to the restroom, where she overhears Leonie and Sarah calling her a tramp. Devastated, she blames Hoo-ha for her ruined reputation and storms out. Constantine finds her and convinces her to talk in private, which excites Hoo-ha, still blind to Constantine's true intentions. Constantine kisses her despite her protests that she's not that kind of woman. When she resists further, he finishes by himself, leaving Paula shocked and Hoo-ha disappointed. Embarrassed, Constantine begs her to keep it a secret, and she reluctantly agrees, consoling him. Later, Constantine boasts to Ziggy and Basti that something happened between him and Paula, calling her a tramp. Meanwhile, Paula finds Charlie drunk and tries to warn him about his drinking. Instead, he insults her, leaving her heartbroken while he enjoys his newfound popularity. The next morning, Marlene posts a photo of herself and Charlie in bed, bragging online about their night. Charlie, unable to remember what happened, plays along. At home, he finds his mom playing Twister with her new friends, making his headache worse. When he and Paula see Marlene's post at the same time, Charlie brushes it off and heads to school, where he's congratulated for supposedly sleeping with Marlene. Francois, however, is furious with him. In contrast, Paula becomes a target of ridicule after Constantine's rumors. Men approach her with disrespect, and when she confronts Constantine, he dismisses her, claiming no one would believe her. Charlie, now hanging out with Marlene, ignores Paula and even stands by as Marlene insults her. Days pass, and though Marlene shows clear disgust toward Charlie, he stays by her side. Meanwhile, Sabina starts to notice the emptiness at home as items go missing. Director Voigt later discovers more furniture stashed in the employees' quarters. Paula becomes increasingly isolated. One day, Charlie tries to get closer to Marlene, but she bluntly tells him she hates him. Upset, Charlie finds Paula, but she dismisses him. She then enters the restroom and catches Constantine and Marlene being intimate. She warns Charlie not to go in, but he ignores her and overhears Marlene confessing to Constantine that nothing happened between her and Charlie. Devastated, Charlie leaves in tears. After class, Rudy dances while cleaning to relieve his stress, unaware that Void is watching. When she confronts him, she simply advises him to ignore the rumors and live his life. That evening, Marlene and Constantine's relationship becomes public, and Charlie spirals into self-pity. Sabina checks on him, but instead of offering comfort, she rambles about her relationship with Rudy. Frustrated, Charlie lashes out, calling her immature for not supporting him. Sabina, shocked, leaves but remembers to wish him luck on his final exam, which Charlie realizes he forgot about. He tries to cram that night, but ends up oversleeping. During the exam, he stares at his blank paper as time runs out, realizing he's completely messed up his life and now feels utterly alone. That evening, Charlie drinks heavily, trying to block out Willie's chatter when he suddenly hears Paula yelling. He finds her drunk and standing on the edge of a bridge, arguing with Hoo-Ha. Realizing they're both dealing with similar struggles with their privates, Paula calms down and steps away. Charlie seizes the moment to apologize, but Paula is furious, accusing him of treating her like a tramp while he enjoyed his 15 minutes of fame. She storms off in tears. Later, Charlie seeks advice from his father, who tells him that if an apology isn't enough, he has to prove how much Paula means to him. Before leaving, Charlie urges Rudy not to give up on his relationship with his mom. The next day, Charlie convinces Paula to team up and get revenge on their enemies during the graduation dance. She agrees, but makes it clear that after this, their friendship is over, breaking Charlie's heart. At the party, Charlie tells Paula to humiliate Constantine, but insists she get Francois involved. Angry at being used again, Paula tells Charlie to apologize to Francois himself. They approach her, and Paula pushes Charlie to admit he tricked Francois into attending the previous party. To lighten the mood, Paula jokes about liking women, prompting Francois to clarify her preferences. She recounts how Marlene dragged a drunk Charlie away from her that night, making her feel abandoned. Though he doesn't remember, Charlie apologizes, and Francois agrees to help. Later, Francois lures Constantine into a private room. As she unzips his pants, Paula pulls back the curtain, exposing him on stage with his pants down. The crowd erupts in laughter, mocking his size, and Marlene catches him attempting to cheat. However, seeing Constantine humiliated, Paula and Charlie feel guilty, recognizing their own struggles with shame. They join Constantine on stage, declaring that no one deserves to be mocked for their insecurities. Francois follows their lead, encouraging the crowd to stop shaming others. The room erupts into applause. Afterward, Director Void calls Charlie and informs him he won't graduate, dampening his celebratory mood. The party ends, and Paula, Charlie, and Francois leave together. Constantine runs after them, feeling oddly liberated, but Paula completes her revenge by smashing his motorcycle's lights. Meanwhile, Marlene's cronies, Leonie and Sarah, try to comfort her, but she insults them. Fed up, they snap back and abandon her. Constantine chases after Marlene to explain, while Francois thanks Paula and Charlie for a fun night and jokingly invites them to share her bed. Charlie declines, saying he's saving himself for someone special. Paula reminds him of their deal, officially ending their friendship. But as they stare at each other, Charlie kisses Paula. They end up in Paula's room, where their first intimate moment is interrupted by Charlie finishing too quickly, leaving Paula unsatisfied. They try again, but it's no better. Paula takes charge, guiding him, and finally gets what she wants. The next morning, Paula walks Charlie to the door, and her family hugs her, thrilled she's in a healthy relationship. Meanwhile, Charlie nervously helps Rudy prepare for a date. When the doorbell rings, Rudy excitedly answers, revealing Sabina as his date. Charlie, shocked, embraces them both. Later, Paula picks Charlie up for a date. As they drive, Charlie turns on the radio and hears Willie and Hoo-Ha as weather forecasters, leaving the couple in stunned silence.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.